Welcome back to this class. We'll continue from Western Nigeria election crisis of 1965. Remember, this is SS2 scheme of work, government. So this picture you are seeing is a typical example of what election crisis is all about. Alright. Now, in 1960, an election was held into the Western Nigeria House of Assembly, making another election due in 1965 according to the 1960 Constitution. By 1965, however, there were three contesting parties: the AG, NCNC, and NNDP. The then Premier S.L. Akintola was the NNDP leader, a party formed in 1963 after the 1962 to 1963 AG crisis. The new party had won most of the seats allocated to the West in the 1964 federal election boycotted by the AG under Opuga Alliance, though the NNDP was a force to reckon with at the time. Then, elections took place on October 11, 1965, in a tense atmosphere. The tense atmosphere was characterized by many electoral malpractices, such as smuggling of ballot papers into ballot boxes, burning opponent ballot boxes, and unfair counting of votes. At the end of the election and counting of votes, it was announced that NNDP won 88 out of 98 seats contested. In a counter-reaction, Alhaji Adegbenro summoned a press conference at Ibadan in the house of jailed Chief Awolowo. That time Chief Awolowo was jailed for some reasons, in which he announced that Opuga won 68 out of the 98 seats. He pronounced himself the premier of the region and appointed 8 ministers of his cabinet. With 2 different governments in the same region, the stage was therefore set for a serious political crisis. At last, Chief Akintola was sworn in as the premier of the region, while Adegbenro was arrested. There were violent demonstrations, chaos, and complete breakdown of law and order in the Western region as a result of the irregularities in the 1965 election. It was reported that about 1,000 people lost their lives, and about 5,000 houses burned down while the newly sworn-in premier took to his clean heels and went into hiding. The political situation in the region gave rise to the famous Operation Wet, which could not be killed, continued until the January 15, 1966 coup d'etat that put it to the top. So that is just the historical background of 1965 Western Nigeria election. Okay, let's look at the causes of the crisis. The causes of the crisis. Number 1, there were discriminations in the provision and acceptance of nomination papers against the Opuga. Number 2, with the Opuga unable to submit nomination paper in many instances, some 15 NNDP candidates were declared return unopposed. The next one, The election went on with massive malpractices like burning and disappearance of ballot boxes, seizing of ballot papers, unfair counting, and so many of them. Number 4, towards the end of counting votes, conflicting results were announced. The last one, the confusion heightened with Adebanro declaring himself premier of the region and Akintoro officially sworn in as premier 2, or that is premier emerging in the same region. So these are the causes of the causes of the crisis. Okay, so we now go ahead to look at the implication of the crisis, that is the 1965 Western region or Western Nigeria crisis. In the implication of the crisis, see riot. Riot is very bad. Crisis is very bad. See houses burning down and people dying. Okay? The implication of the crisis, the riot went on unabated till Major Kaduna Nzogu took over power in January 1966. That was when the coup started. The number 2, personality clashes between Awolowo and Akintola were allowed to degenerate into a situation that almost tore the West apart. The third one, people were denied their electoral rights and discouraged from participating in political activities. The last one, it paved the way for military takeover of governance in Nigeria. So that's that. In our next class, we are going to look at general elections of 1979. Alright, so please be a lover of knowledge. Thank you very much.